What is going on, guys? Welcome back in for another episode, but we're not doing the podcast this time. We are shining a spotlight for you. Welcome into the Gamer's Edge Spotlight. Uh, ZenZer0, how are we doing, my man?
Hey, I'm doing good. Just got to cast for a good friend. You know, training in Rocket League. So anytime I'm getting to, kick back, play some Rocket League or do anything involved with Rocket League, it's a good night.
Now, we're talking here. I know we were talking a little bit before we jumped on, but getting to do stuff involved with Rocket League when you just got to cast the draw, which, of course, if you're familiar with Rocket League, it's one of the bigger events in the off season for Rocket League. So tell me a little bit about that and what brought you into being able to do such a big event.
I love that you asked that because it's kind of a crazy story. It's kind of funny. Um, so I started casting probably about a year and a half ago, maybe a little bit less than that. It was when IGL was still around, and I was casting for IGL, and then they actually shut down, and I just quit. I didn't cast outside of my own channel because I do a lot of tourneys and stuff like that every week. Outside of that, I just kind of quit. And then about 6 months ago or so, I started to get back into it, and I started to get more opportunities like the Frost tourney. I casted it. I got on with Great Lakes CRL, and I just started kind of being proactive about kind of asking for opportunities, right? Reaching out to people, say, hey, I'd love to send you a VOD, if you need a caster. But the draw was the crazy story because Rocket Star, another caster, she was streaming. I had just met her. I rated out on her, and she said, "Did you sign up for the draw?" And I said, "I didn't realize I could sign up for the draw. Like, what do you mean? Like, I just assumed they handpick top casters." Like most
Yeah.
attorneys. And she said, no, you can sign up, and it actually ends tonight at midnight. And it was like 7 p.m. or something, 8 p.m. I said, yeah, I know you're streaming. Please shoot me over that application right now. And I'll get it in and stuff. And yeah, with like 4 or 5 hours left on the deadline to sign up for it, I signed up. And honestly, I didn't have too high of hopes. I was just like, hey, I'm just trying to get my name out there, right? So I signed up, send my VOD, send all that. And then I wake up the next morning. She actually messaged me with the thing and they said, hey, they gave you a spot. They gave you a draw to do on your own channel. And I was blown away. So grateful. Big shout out to Rizzo and James Bot, and of course Rocket Star for that. And that was actually the draw 7. But whoops, you, a really good friend of mine, a big reason that I'm on Twitch at all. That's another story. I was going to be a Facebook streamer, but whoops, you casted for me. We became friends. Big reason I'm on Twitch. He hit me up for the draw 6 and said, hey, would you like to cast? And it was a little bit conflict of, well, not conflict of scheduling because Great Lakes was that weekend as well, or I would have cast a lot more with them. But he got me on for day 3 of the draw 6. And then same thing, draw 7 was on my channel. And then draw 8 that just happened, that was on Whoops's channel as well. And kind of same thing, Great Lakes CRL was at the same time. So I only got to cast, I think, 3 series total. But yeah, he had me on. So big shout out Whoops you. And I actually got to cast for Justin for the first time ever this Sunday. So that was pretty unreal.
Nice. Showing the power of networking and building a stellar community around you. I do know you also did mention a little bit here that you do host your own tournaments on your own channel and everything like that. So, for anybody that's trying to get involved with that, how are they able to reach out to you? And you did mention you are on Twitch, so feel free to
Yep.
drop that Twitch handle on them.
Hey, I appreciate that. And of course I appreciate you for, having me on at all. I was super ecstatic to be here. I've been pumped about it. So yeah, so ZenZer0 on Twitch, ZenZer0. It's not an O, it's a 0. But if you just put in ZenZ, you'll find me. It'll pop up. And yeah, I'm live Thursday through Sunday. I go live around 9, 10 p.m. Eastern. and I play with viewers. Every single night is community based. Thursday and Sunday I actually do community show matches, which we've had some crazy names on there. Chronic and Wavy came on. We had Cosmic and Azap on there. We've had Flitz, Flo, Mizus, and Nil, Creams, Lev, Naya. I know I'm going to leave some names out. Hammy Crackers. But I do it for anybody in the community, right? So Twitter, ZenZer0 that's a easier place to find me at any time. If you don't just want to find me when I'm live, of course, message me on there. And yeah, every Saturday we do a cash prize tourney. So I just do it on stream as well. 11 p.m. Eastern is the cash prize tourney every Saturday, and you just come to the stream at 10:45. The name and password goes out. We do a little mix the first Saturday of the month, no rank restrictions. That's when you see a lot of those bubble pros that I just mentioned. They show up for a lot of those. Um, and then the rest, there are restrictions. So SSLs can play, they just can't be higher with GC1. GC3 SSL can't go with higher than GC1, GC2 with GC2. And the reason I kind of did that is because even though I love and appreciate these bubble pros coming to my stream, everybody loves it. The chat absolutely loves it, especially when they hop in chat. But the majority of my community is GC1, GC2, and they're just flat out have no chance
Yeah.
when I do no rank restrictions, right? Like, these players like Wavy and stuff coming through, they just 5-up, they dominate, which again, we love to see, but we do some rank restrictions as well.
Yeah. From what I've seen in my casting and stuff like that as well, you see a lot of blended styles as well on some of
Yeah.
these like showcase matches where there's no restrictions. You get jugglers and stuff like that, freestylers going out
Yeah.
there against peers, and the matches can just be insane on
Oh yeah.
some of those. So I know I will definitely be tuning in and checking that out
Appreciate it.
as well. Uh, Now I know you were talking about beforehand some things going on. You are casting a little bit for a high school,
Yeah.
the Great Lakes as well, and then potentially maybe some RLCS stuff coming down the
Yeah.
pipe. Potentially, are you able to touch on that a little bit?
So a little bit. I don't have anything really concrete. Again, and this would be my kind of advice as well to up and coming streamers, up and coming casters and stuff. I've just been very very proactive about reaching out. So I've reached out to a few of the not obviously not NAEU, right? Those casters. Takes a long time to get there, right? But a lot of these smaller like OC, South America, SSA, MENA, stuff like that. So I've reached out to them, sent them all my stuff, and everything seems good. Seems like I will be getting some RLCS casts, as well as some more CRL stuff. Um, and then of course, through that time, I'll continue to really heavily focus on my own kind of pro show matches, bubble pro matches, and stuff like that, because that's a little more controllable for me, right? It's awesome to get to cast all this other stuff, but when you don't know, you don't know,
Yeah.
right? And it's exactly how that goes. But when I can actually control it, set it up, manage everything, and know, okay, I gotta cast in for every week or for every other week, I'm gonna have something big on. So I'll definitely be heavily focused on my own show matches. But yeah, looking to get into some of these smaller regions for RLCS. And then of course, love Great Lakes. They've shown me nothing but love. Love the boys over at Rochester. I get to cast quite a bit for them for CRL as well, so that will continue as well.
Nice. And of course, if you do reach out to him, just keep in mind one thing: this man is busy because he does work a full-time job as well as doing his own personal casting, his own personal streaming as well. So if it takes him a minute to get back in touch with you,
That's right.
just bear with him just a minute, because again, we're all human beings. We're all out here trying to survive. So make sure you give this man his flowers, give this man his kudos, because he is busting his hump for this out here grinding.
Thank you.
So make sure you go show him that love. So my final little bit here for you is I need a little bit of info here. You said your homeboy was the reason that you got into Twitch and everything like
Yeah.
that. What made you want to pick up the microphone and cast, and what gives you that confidence to go out there and say, you know what, I can do this on the grand stage?
Well, one, I kind of joked about it when we first got in here. One, I was given the gift of gab, a million percent. There's I can sit here and list for days the things that I'm not good at, but the one thing I'm good at is talking, right? And it's always kind of been that way. I'm a salesman. You talked about having a job. I'm in real estate. I'm on the phone all day, cold calling, talking to, my job's basically get people that don't want to talk to you at all, probably are mad about the situation I'm calling about, and get them to like me and do business with me, right? So having 6 years experience of that, about 10 years in sales, that kind of gives me the confidence, certainly to, no matter my audience, right, to hop on the mic, hop on, have it's a lot easier, I'll be honest with you, having a one-on-one in a cold call. That's a million times tougher than kind
Yeah.
of casting to an audience. But what kind of happened, I started streaming. I got a PC just for Rocket League, funny enough, and I'd wanted to stream. Always been a big, huge passion of mine, video games. Um, and another buddy of mine said, "Hey, I started streaming. You should start streaming." I said, "All right, I will." And he found out pretty quickly it was not for him. He said, "I don't know what I was thinking. I don't even like people. I don't know why." He quit pretty quickly, but he did. I'm not joking. He's like, "I don't even know what I was thinking." And it's funny because it's how he is. He's not a super social person. He's a great guy once you're friends with him, but not super social, right? So anyway, it stuck for me, and since I was doing a lot of community stuff, long story short, I can barely talk and play this game at the same time, let alone play at a high level, read chat, and talk. So pretty early on, I said, let's just do community games. Let's do viewer turns. Let's do stuff like that. That way, I can prioritize chat, because when I'm watching a streamer, that's what I prefer. I like to have that almost one on one where they're reading every message that I'm putting in, and
Yeah.
responding with open-ended communication, not, hey, how's your day? Oh, it's good, good. It's, well, what happened today? You playing Rocket League? What's your rank? Whatever, right? um so as I would have some downtimes in stream, I would just cast it. I would start to just kind of naturally do that, and I got pretty comfortable doing it. And a lot of community members, hey man, you should cast, you should cast, you should cast. And then I had a couple good friends from the community that I really highly value their opinions, reach out to me one on one, like, bro, you're slipping up if you don't start casting. Like, you're good at it. You have, just naturally, you're doing a great job at it. So you should really try it. And I won't lie, just like Rocket League, when I first started casting, it didn't really stick. I told you, I casted for a few months and kind of took a long extended
Yeah.
break
Yeah.
from it. Um, and when I came back to it, just like Rocket League, because I kicked myself. I started Rocket League 2015. I told my buddy, I said, what trash little kids game did you just have me download? I was like, what is this? And didn't play it again for like 4 years. Got back into it for a couple of months. And then the third time, I guess, was the charm, because I've been, put over 3,000 hours since then into it. But yeah, so got back to casting. And I'll say, once I started, because at that point my stream was, pretty successful. Not huge or anything, but obviously successful. And I had these bubble pros and stuff, and getting to cast at that level, that's what hooked me. And that's what has kind of kept me in and kept me hungry. As you said, even though I'm staying, very busy, putting in 70, 80-hour weeks between working, casting, and streaming. That's what's still on my off time. I'm sitting here on Twitter. Who needs casting? Who can I reach out to? And put myself in front of that. But yeah, so it's I know I kind of took a lot to kind of answer that. But yeah,
No.
that's the long of it.
Hey, that's why I asked it, because I want
Yes,
people
sir.
to understand who you are, and see the passion that I see as well. So,
Appreciate that.
thank you for that explanation. That's exactly what I hoped everybody would hear. That way they can see you in the same light. Uh, now I know I said that was gonna be my final question, but
Hey, you're
that
good.
always leads into more.
Right.
Uh, but hopefully, because of course, for those that are watching, today is my birthday, so we've been killing it all day. So thank you guys. We've already premiered 3 episodes today for the Gamers Edge podcast, premiering this Gamers Edge Spotlight for you as well. Uh, So this will be my final go here for you. Uh, what is your advice to that guy sitting there right now? And he's like, you know what? I've been playing Rocket League for a while. I think I might be able to do this. What's your advice to him?
So for streaming or casting?
Give me both.
Both? Okay. I was actually about to add that, Sarah. Well, first of all, happy birthday again. I want to say how much I love that a lot of people would take the day off for their birthday at the least, if not go out and party and spend money. And I love that you're, cooking in the lab, still grinding. And again, big happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
So one, I would say get started, right? Just like anything else in life, it's so easy. And I'm a victim of this as well. I shouldn't say victim. I'm guilty of this as well, I should say, is procrastinating, right? Time goes by so fast where if you want to do that, and that's something maybe you don't know it's going to be your passion, but you at least want to try, right? Don't keep putting it off, especially if you have the resources, even if you have to start on a PS4, whatever you have to do, get started. Number one, that's huge, right? Number two, I would say make sure to focus on putting probably equal time when you start. Say you have 20 hours a week, 10 of that should go into streaming, the other 10 should go into editing videos, posting on socials, because that's the big mistake that I made. I make a joke all the time that, I have more followers on Twitch than TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube combined times two, right? Like we just hit 5K on Twitch, and I'm at 1,000 on TikTok, almost 1,000 on Twitter as well, but everything else is real low because I heavily neglected it. And now I'm kind of playing, catch up with that. So yeah, so keep the stream. You don't need to stream super long hours. I would stream more frequently, 5 to even 7 days a week, but keep it an hour, an hour and a half. And then make sure to put at least equal amounts of time into editing videos, posting, growing on other socials, and of course, networking. Now, there's an organic way to network. You don't want to just be, hey, I follow you, follow me. Hey, if I support you, I expect you to support me back. None of that. But you'll find if you reach out and you watch streams and you follow, content on social media and talk to these people, they're cool people. You have a shared passion that you are very passionate about, or a shared hobby that you're passionate about, I should say. So you guys are going to click. These relationships are going to form naturally, so just let them form organically, and don't take it personally when somebody else, you're in their stream all the time, they don't come to yours. Guess what? They could be super busy. Maybe that's your free time is when they're streaming, so you get to watch them. They don't get to watch you because when you're live there, that's not their free time, right? And put the community first. That's the biggest and most advice I can give you, is put the community first. When somebody comes to your stream, you have to realize that's more, everybody thinks about like money and stuff like that. Time is by far the most valuable and important asset. So for them to come and consistently give you their time, you need to let them know how much you appreciate them, include them as much as possible. Now, of course, I play with viewers. You don't have to. You can still play your comp, do that stuff, but really just let them know, how much you appreciate them. Throw events for them, especially if you don't play with them every stream, stuff like that. Make sure to work in events for them. Start growing your Discord very early where the community can get together even outside of you. I have so many, it's crazy. I have so many community members that are best friends now. I mean, every day they play games together. They didn't know each other until they started coming to my stream and, became a part of the community. So really prioritize it, and always open-ended. When somebody comes in your stream, says, hey, how you doing? It's especially if it's their first time. As I said earlier, don't just say, oh, I'm good, thanks, or I'm good, how are you? They say good, and you leave it at that. Always leave it open-ended. Hey, I assume you play Rocket League. What's your rank? Oh, okay. And then you can always continue off that. And as far as casting, I would say something I didn't do again. They say a smart man learns from his mistakes, a wise man learns from the mistakes of others. And I'm mainly going to tell you from my own mistakes. Start watching really tenured and experienced casters early. That way you can start to understand, because there's a flow to it. It's just like anything else. There's almost a science to it, right? So really watch those experienced casters, learn from them, And same as I said with streaming, get in there and just do it. You're gonna need two things. You're gonna have to overcome that. You need the experience, basically overcome that nervousness, right? And two, you're gonna have to grow through that experience. So yeah, just get out there, do it, watch casters that are better, and I don't want to say copy them exactly, but pick up stuff from, maybe you watch three casters that you love, and they're take what you love, one thing you love from this guy, one thing you love from him, one thing you love from her, and kind of put it together, mold it into your own style is what I'm trying to say, but learn from them, because there is an art to it, there is a flow to it, stuff like that, and you can really get stuck as being able to do it good solo. But then once you duo up, which is most of the bigger gigs are all going to be duo cast, you have no idea how to pass the mic, or
Yeah,
anything
complete the
like that.
toss.
Like, what'd you say?
Complete the toss.
Yeah, exactly. And a huge thing you can do on that is start learning how to kind of emphasize your words when you're going to end. So if you want to pass the mic, and a goal just happened and it's perfect time to pass it off, you can say, you wouldn't just say, oh, a big double tap from John, or a big double tap from Justin. It's, what a double tap from Justin. And you kind of leave it right there where they know, oh, he's done talking, right? And especially as they cast with you, they're gonna know, and it'll take somebody 10 minutes, 15 minutes. That's always the first thing I notice when I duo cast with somebody, is how they use their voice to let me know they're done talking. And those are the people you want to work with again, and those are the people that make it super easy for you to work with.
You saying that brought two things up
I love it. I
in
love
my head.
it.
Well, one, it's just we've had Rain Day on from Apex Legends,
Nice.
and he has talked about the toss and how working with his duo all those years, and casting like championship matches and stuff like
Yeah,
that. He's made the mistake of leaving him flat before and stuff
you're
like
right.
that, or overextending the moment when he should have let it go and
Yep.
passed it. He ran himself out of breath trying to extend the moment. And
Yep.
then, of course, we've had Spaceman, Sean Rogers, who's just casted Worlds for
Yeah.
Rocket League. His big advice was silence is golden. He's like, let silence work for you and build that anticipation. You
Yeah.
don't have to constantly be just trying to, come with words every second. You don't have to
Right.
call every single play to the exact.
And be so
Uh,
excited in every single word.
yeah, yeah. So those would be the two key takeaways that you just re-triggered in my head.
Nice. I like it.
But again, I can't thank you enough for taking the time. We've been talking about time, taking the time to come on and talk with me. And of course, one last time, give everybody where they can reach you. Twitch, you talked about TikTok, Twitter,
Yeah.
everything. I need it all. That way, everybody
So
knows where they can make sure they can get at you.
I'm really glad you asked that, because I did such a poor job. I kind of segued off when I was saying it earlier. So Twitch is just ZenZer0. Again, the zero is or the O is a zero. So ZenZer0 on Twitch. Everything else, Twitter. Twitter is what I mainly use. TikTok and YouTube as well. I do have an Instagram, but I don't really use it. But ZenZer0 TTV on all of those. And I meant to add that earlier, and I know that I didn't. So I'm really, really thankful that you brought that back up. So yeah, on all of their socials, ZenZer0 TTV on Twitch, ZenZer0 ZenZer0. And I do cast some different times, but every week I do Thursday through Sunday. I go live around 9, 10 p.m. Eastern. And again, every single night is either community show matches that I'm casting, or which again, all ranks are welcome, or we're doing viewer tournaments, a lot of twos. We mix in some ones and custom threes as well.
Cool. Well, again, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in to another Gamer's Edge Spotlight. Hopefully, y'all have enjoyed this episode. If you haven't checked out episode 1 featuring Milky Nades, make sure you do that. If you're new to the channel and you want to check out the podcast as well, hit the podcast up, the Gamer's Edge podcast as well. And also, one last thing for you guys, if you do need a Valorant or Apex caster as well, my man does do other stuff besides Rocket League. So hit him up for all your casting needs. If I'm not available, this man will be. So hit him up for sure, guys. But until next time, peace.